Kuna wengine pia, the people who usually stress it kama uko depressed, but nadhani hiyo inakonga shida ya watu wako na pesa, cause wewe mwenye una pesa huwezi stress it, huwezi anza kustress it ugali. Kuna venye lazima usake tu vitu unaweza kula, unacheki
zinaitwa comfort foods.
Ni comfort
Comfort
like
food.
unaoda mapi.
My name is Eric Chama. I am the founder and CEO of Red Eye FM. Tuko hapa na wasi wengi kadhaa. Ningependa wajiintroduce.
Joshua Matasi, perennial commoner, hustler in Nairobi. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Brezogola, Veogola. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So today we are here. We're supposed to talk about a lot of things, but basically about life in our 20s, considering we are in our mid to early 20s. So najua hapa experience ya kila mtu imekuwa very varied. Maybe ningeanza na yangu. I would start with a TikTok that I saw earlier that was saying saizi marituko in our 20s, it's more think about finding yourself. But even in finding ourselves, najua iko na different meanings to all of us. But for me, naweza sema it's more of financial freedom. I feel like everybody, especially kwa capitalist society, tuna strive towards financial freedom. Ndo maana kwa job, si ndio?
Yeah, true.
Na ndo maana pia unapiga hadi hustle yako, si ndio? So I guess it's the freeing factor in money, and that's what I guess everybody is striving for. Kila mtu anajua maybe anshare busy yake, mtu mwingine aingie job, but it's all towards that one goal, I guess. Yeah. And what do you guys think?
I totally agree actually. I think we at this age we all look up to guys who are financially free, but I don't think we put in the adequate work, or we are not patient enough. We want to rush the process to get there, because before we find ourselves, let's say the early 20s have gone. Like for me, for example, I think I came to my self-realization, I think, on my 22nd birthday. When I sat myself down and thought about what I want to do, what should go on. And I think I find myself slightly fortunate enough to have that realization slightly early. But come to think of it, I don't think I was headed in the right path, because yes, we want to live big, but what we do behind the curtains is small. And also, let's say if you want to start living your dream, you start your own project, even funds becomes an issue at the start. So I think, yeah, need some patience kidogo. That's from my outlook.
Okay, according to me, I think literally everything is about financial freedom, but we don't put so many factors into it, because we are at a time, we're in the 21st century and everything is different. If you compare it to back then, when someone could be in like second year university, but they have literally everything going on for them. They have a family, everything they've started. But for us, we have a lot. We have a lot to achieve. We have a lot to fight. So many factors are in place. So to get to the point where the freedom is achieved, it's not easy. Also, we're in a third world country. So
True.
if you compare to the first world countries, you'll find actually a 21-year-old has already bought a home.
Yeah.
They're driving their two cars. They're married, one baby. So
precise story ya baby and family.
Unajua, ultimately everything is all about family. So the moment family yako iko comfortable, kila kitu kwako is good.
Yeah.
So ukicompare na huko hivyo, si bado tuko nyuma. We have a lot to fight. Ndio maana ukipata any chance ya move out into Canada or in the US, ni big step.
It's a big step.
Utakuwa umeachieve mingi kabisa. Hata kama umeenda kuanzisha fresh huko, ni kubwa.
But okay, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were saying that if you're able to make it here, where it seems all of these factors and conditions are against you, it's so easy to make it in places where tunaweza sema the system iko less rigged against you.
Come off, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, you brought up the issue of family, and still we're on the topic of life in the 20s. Apparently, it's not strange for us right now to have friends who have kids. I'm sure, yeah, you all like we all have friends who are starting small families here and there, mostly by mistake, and that's why I always tell people, guys, please strap up. Me, that's always the message I like to preach to my people. Ndo msijipate in situations where maybe now sasa itabidi kuwa a deadbeat dad. Na hiyo pia I think psychological studies have already shown the effects za a single parent family kwa inaweza fanyikia mtoi. But anyway, moving on swiftly, let's talk about relationships.
Could I cut short a bit? Can I pose a question to all of us?
Sure.
Starting from Bruce, are you ready to have a family at this point?
No, I'm not. Listen, you see, about a family, I'm ready. I have someone, but having bringing a kid is totally a different story that I don't want at this point. Not in the near future, not yet. Like start kama mtoi wangu agrow venye mimi nimegrow, alafu aingie aface hizi ma challenges zote. Nataka kigrow vitu ziko na silver platter. Sitaki aishi maisha ngumu. Venye watu husemanga like since nilipitia hiyo maisha, you also have to do the same. No, I won't want that.
Oh, and so in like how long? You'll cross the bridge and reach there.
Is it never or maybe 7 to 8 years from now?
Oh.
Yeah, in a charisma.
But me, I guess for me, why not? Right now, even like ni pesa tu ndo nimekosa. If I had that money to take care of that kid, I don't see why I wouldn't have a family right now. That's why I think financial freedom is an essential building block for our 20s. Even our parents, when they were having us by mistake and whatever, I guess at the back of their mind, they knew where they would get these resources to at least make sure we are well fed, make sure we're clothed, just the basic things. But at the moment, even taking care of myself, I think is a hassle. So bringing someone else into the picture, hiyo ni ngumu sana. Plus pia hao mademu wa siku hizi man, hao mademu wa siku hizi tuseme wife material wako, but a wise man once said you'll have to go through a number of bad apples to get the good apples. So ndio ni factor ya life nimekuja kukubali.
Hakuna plenty of fish in the ocean. They're not.
The fish that are in the ocean are emotionally unavailable, because it's like we're also bringing up a generation of people who don't want to take responsibilities, I guess. So even relationships are very dysfunctional to most degrees, and people just want to have things, no strings attached, I guess.
Okay. I'm not against people having no strings attached. I think to some extent it's a good thing, so long as nothing comes out of it, like there's no babies. Everything is okay. So hiyo kitu inakuhold, like you don't exert yourself too much. You already have a lot of pressure. So if you can go that way and avoid all the responsibilities, uko sawa. I'm not against it.
Actually, I think the bottom line, as Chama says, is financial freedom. Okay, I don't believe I was born by mistake.
Utashanga.
Maybe yours wasn't planned, but mine must have been planned. Yeah, but that aside, I think I've thought about it quite a number of times, and I don't think I'm even ready or anywhere near ready to to have a family at this point. But I think I think as long as you're two consenting adults, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, but family at the moment, hey, even relationships are tricky.
You're talking about families and Chiama talking about responsibilities and people not owning up to whatever they've done. I think you see the issue about black tax, where your family always expect you to do something for them. Bado ina factor into people not having families, because you have a lot of things to be doing to your family too, like uko na ma siblings hawajaenda shule, and then unapiga hesabu ya kuingiza another constant kwa the equation, I balance. So bado financial freedom ikiwa as early as now, na usikuwa na hizo ma expectations mingi na hizo vitu zina call back, families zingekuwa tu sawa.
Okay, na nini, just to ask, I think there's also some pressure towards the family side. Like for me in Kendaocha, I have those senges, senge is auntie in my language. We have those senges and kuhus who keep on asking you, hey, where's your house? and then I'm just there wondering, I'm just in my early 20s. But also on the flip side, by age mates, the village have very many houses with kids that can make up a 7th team. Do you guys experience the same? But I think, for me, I think it's quite unnecessary pressure in this age to compare such. But I don't know, how about you guys?
For me personally, I haven't been to the up countryside in almost 5 years, but that undue pressure that you're receiving from Umaita Senge's aunties, okay, you can also view it in a positive light, in that they see that you're capable of achieving this thing. So in a way, they're asking you, like, bro, we know you have the power to build a very good house over here. Why don't you have a good house? So you can look at it in two ways, as unnecessary pressure, but then again, you can convert that energy that they're giving you into motivation, as to they see I have the potential and the capability of building this and whatever. So ni tu kucheza na hiyo mindset, I guess. It's just how you frame things. But mimi saizi nikienda Ocha, mtu anze kuniliza ati yuko wapi nyumba yangu, hapo na siko ba, mimi naweza jam walai. Mimi naweza jam.
That's how you draw the line.
Like unaniuliza ka nani, as who my dad isn't asking me for a house, so who are you to ask me for a house, man? Who are you to ask me for a house?
Raja, about that one, I think they usually ask that because them growing up, it was a societal thing, like you are accountable to everyone mwenye natoka naye Ocha moja. So au ma aunts na au ma uncles watakuuliza, alafu they'll also ask you, because you're in your early 20s, wana expect ukuwe na mtoi, ukuwe na family fulani, ukuwe na nyumba, because according to them waki grow up, things were easy for them, like vitu zilikuwa easier, walianza familia mapema, alafu wakicompare venye umesema, like your age mates uko home, washaanzisha mafamilia hadi unadhani like amwezi relate, amwezi ongelea the same thing, because perspective yako life and na yake totally different.
Sure.
Yeah, so but yo venye Chiama anasema, like unaweza use hizo maswali zao as stepping stones, naona ni tricky sana, because hizo expectation ndo anga watu ukicompare majamo wengine wenye mmegrow nao washa move to that point where bado huko hata hujui nafanya nini na life yako. Ni ngumu.
I think me side nimeona positive, kumbe niko na potential.
You have the potential, you have the power. But then on that same issue of pressure from external people, there's also usually this narrative that this is what social media is also doing to us, especially places like Instagram, where it's very easy to fake a lifestyle, and some people actually get depressed by seeing other people doing better than them. And if I'm being honest, right now I have very many friends who are joining the workforce. Personally, I'm not in the workforce, maybe yet, or I don't want to join the workforce. But every time I hear maybe someone has gotten a job, I always feel this small tinge of jealousy, if I'm being honest, just a little bit. But then at the back of my mind, I'm like, no, why are you jealous? he's doing well. If he wanted to do well, you'd also be doing well, but then it also depends on your point of view, I guess. So this undue pressure that we also receive from social media, quote unquote, naona pia unaweza flip and in another way, because right now, yeah, people are working, we have people who are driving cars and whatever, but ni effort yao ndio imafikisha hapo. Venye Matasi pia alisema earlier on that watu wako patient, people want to do something right now, alafu results pia zikuje saa hiyo. I think that people are also not patient enough with the process, because personally I believe that everything that is supposed to happen will happen. Me, that's the way I see things. Yeah.
About everything that will happen will eventually happen. I think I agree with you on that ultimately everything that's supposed to happen will happen, and you can't change anything. You working hard, you're supposed to work hard. You're not working just the same way, it's supposed to be that way. So eventually everything that's supposed to happen to you definitely will.
Yeah. Word.
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 So we were also supposed to gloss over the issue of relationships. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be romantic in nature or whatever, but me personally, I think friendships, especially at our age, are proving more useful, na pia zingine ni kama ziko detrimental. So I would like to ask you guys, because probably you haven't noticed it or you have, but it's difficult or easy to make friends in this age. Si kama venye tulikonga tu watoi, you can't even remember how you became friends with some people. You just started playing together, na hivyo ndo ikaform basis ya friendship yenu. Lakini sasa, what values right now do you look for in someone ndo weze kusema yeye ni friend yako?
Okay, about relationship and friendship. I think everything is about being drama free. Like you're I'm already stressed. Why would you bring your stress to me too? There's supposed to be that barrier. That bring me peace, bring me happiness. We could have fun. Ibaki tu like nyinyi friends, si ati ameleta mashida zingine kwako tu. Hapo ndo unakata mtu unasema like no, kuna venye hii kisu inafaa kutaja. So also about your relationship, I highly nambianga men highly recommended msaki mabeshte men wenzenu, msikwe tu like we kazi yako ni madem na majamo wengine, like muongeleshe maboy wenzenu, na actually ni ina boost testosterone levels. Ni kama tu kwenda gym, like ni therapeutic. We kukatu na maboy wako muonge, it's so good for you, like you should be doing that.
So apparently sausage fest ni mzuri kwa wanaume. Hivyo ni unasema.
Not literal.
In relationship.
friendship.
Well, for me, I think right now it's hard. Okay, it's both hard and easy to make friends, given that this is the social media age. I can just DM you, but it depends on the level of reception the other guy gives you. So, but I think also it's the same level, the same way it's easy to make friends. I think it's the same way it's very easy to lose in these times, especially given that initially I think friendship. Okay, my take on friendship is that there has to be some bond, some connection. Actually, if you don't have a certain vibe, if you don't click, I don't think we can. I can even go ahead and tell you even an opportunity or let's do this or something. So I think given our current age, the social media age era, I think it's equally very easy once you get, I think nowadays you get acquaintances You can call them acquaintances, not friends, because I only need you when I need something from you.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just can't call you out of the blues. If you don't have that, I think friendship you can be able to click whenever, irrespective of the time in between, you can be able to link, as opposed to acquaintances where you just need someone for a particular reason, but also when you have an issue, it feels kind of odd to
Raise it to
approach the
someone,
guy.
yeah.
Like hata mi ukiniuliza, mtu ananiuliza mashida zake, niko like hatujuani that good. You don't know me like that, but yeah. And then on relationships, I don't think I have any advice. I've been I've
Uko
been
handicapped.
yeah, I'm handicapped for years, and I think I'm too comfortable. Yeah, but I think it also takes a collection. Probably I feel it when one comes my way. But yeah, so
What's
far,
supposed to happen will eventually
yeah,
happen.
exactly. Yeah, it's a matter of time and being patient.
Yeah, so okay. Pia on friendship, mwache kukuwa ma friends na nyinyi so hard. Like unacheki ukiongelesha ni ile yenye una make friend na mtu leo alafu kesho anakuomba pesa, like unijui that much
That escalated.
also
That is quickly. True.
hakuna venye tumemeet leo tumekuwa mabeshte, namba yako hata sija save, text ya nitumie kitu, kuna venye ni ngumu. Alafu pia hiyo story ya mini best yako, so una expect everything, vitu zingine, your personal life, like birthday is not that important. Si ati lazima ni kuwish happy birthday for what, like move to na flow. Si ni mabeshte, si ati si hiyo mabeshte wenye walikuwa familia, the friends who became family. Zi hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Mkikuwa ma friends, you are friends, stay to that. Yeah, stick to that.
Yeah, I think you have a point. Msa akula vile za juala tu juzi, and then ushaanza kuitisha favors, like I think it's a very big turn off, whether male or female. It's a big turn off, irrespective of whatever you have. Yes, naweza kwambia feel free to approach, but you should know
unafaa kujua mali freedom yako inaishia.
Unafaa kujua pali freedom inaishia. Si kwanza those guys who ask for favors, but immediately you need to take some time.
Ni kama ako na friends wengine before wewe.
Exactly, you're the savior. The Messiah has come finally. I think it's a really big turn off for me, personally. As in Bajora too for a short time. Yes, if I'm in a position to help, I'll help, but it's a really,
You won't take it kindly.
yeah, it's as in it's like overstepping.
Kuna venye nitakutumia na nikublock. Ukae nayo.
That reminds me of an incident that happened to me recently. Someone who we went to school with, alikuwa I think 2 years behind me, pale high school. We've never spoken ever since tumaliza high school. Hananga namba yangu, but alikuwa na Facebook yangu. So mimi DM ananiuliza ni aje, mimi nikajua maybe anataka kutoa form. Niza ni aje, uko poa ni nini? Akisema mimi niko poa, lakini kuna venye sijafikisha rent ya hii man. Mimi nikajua tu okay, acha tu let's just see where this will go. But in my mind niko sitakutumia kitu, but I will waste your time. I will listen to what you have to say. So I'm like, but rent this month sijalipa. Nikamuuliza kwani place umemove in juzi? Hauwezi ongea landlord ati ni place ni mahama juzi. Haya. Unataka kutumia ngapi? Ati hata 1000 ni sawa. I'm like bro, hatujuani hivyo. Bado nilimshow live by the way. Hatujuani hivyo. Kwani nilicheka ngao tu yenye buda siko ubaya. Hatujuani hivyo.
Kuna venye mtu akisha kuambia a statement alafu aweke, but there's nothing ever good that comes after that. Nothing good. Unafaa kubaki tu hapo. Malizia statement yako. Ukiona unataka kuweka but eka full stop.
I'm saying in all due respect.
In all due respect. Hakuna respect inakuanga after that.
But then yenye saa bring up your issue wase kujaribu kusaidiana and whatever. I feel like there are people who at the back of your mind you have no problem helping, si ndio?
Yeah, sure.
So unaweza sema those are your truest friends, those that you have no, because I feel ndo uweze kuwasaidia hivyo pia unajua ikiumana on your side
Unaweza
pia hata come through
Yeah, sure.
in a way. So okay, maybe just one more issue ningependa ku bring up on this story of friendship. Occasionally pale Twitter I usually see this tweet inasemanga saizi people friendships are growing apart because everybody has the shit to do, like everybody maisha yake inasonga in different directions, na mimi na feeling ndo kitu kama hiyo ifanyike it's because one party I put in the effort, because mimi naonanga friendship ni kitu ni kama like ni kama marriage in a way, it takes both parties to work. But some naonanga people who post tweets kama hizo ni wase hawaputiningi hiyo work ku make it work. So friendship ni kazi ama si kazi ama inakunga tu kitu hapo tu, I'll only call you when I need you.
Also I think people who tweet that way wanakuanga na target audience. Like kuna tu mtu mmoja hataki kuongea na yeye because yeye pia mahali ana put in effort na yeye pia wao mwingine mtu mwingine reciprocate.
Exactly.
Iko tu hivyo. Alafu venye uko nasema about your issue ya family. I think ukiangalia the current trends venye watoi wamekuwa kiais wazazi, like wazazi wanakuwa tu wameuliwa, mtoi ameua mzazi, mtoi ameua mzazi. Imekuwa so common. Sijui ni nini ina drive towards that.
Then kitu like someone should look into that.
Yeah, because inanifanya naona like hata mimi nikiwahi amua mtoi kuna venye
Naweza kubada.
Anaweza kuja kugeuzia.
Kuna venye akifika 10 kabidi ameanza kufend. Anajua asha grow up because like 17-year-old ameua family yake, the other one was a 22 ameua whole family, hadi ma sibling wake wenye walikuwa shule ndio wamesurvive. Last week was a 17-year-old ameua budake over masake juu alikuwa amefanya nini. Like it's so scary kama unaishi na mtoi anaweza kukuua na ni mtoi wako.
Yeah.
So una expectaje from mtu mwenye si mtoi wako? Ina make kutrust anyone inakuwa difficult. And ndio maana unapata siku hizi si kama kitambo where mtu angetoka ocha kwetu akujaishi tu na mimi and I have literally no problem with that. But sasa hizi marela waishi na mtu ni ngumu. Labda ukuje leo kesho uende ulete huko kuko na kamnayo kama umeenda.
I think on that story, I think come to think of it, it tells us where we are right now as a society. Because if you can't trust your own relative, okay, your own son, your own blood, leave alone relative, or you can't even host your own relative, I think to me it's an effect of capitalism. And I think the same setup that most families have, kukua tu hivyo, you can't accommodate someone else, is what's also transpiring in the extra space when you move now to your friendships, to your relationships, and etc. We are not accommodative. We don't want to check factors, because hata nowadays you can host a family and then you're like, umse pia kuna mashida mingi full time, whereas family should be I believe family should be like a friendship which has no end to the bond, irrespective of your high low. So if you cannot accommodate someone who we share the same blood lineage with, as close as a cousin, and then you expect also to tolerate, you can't tolerate msewadamu, and then it transfers, you can't even tolerate your friend akwambia leo niko na shida, breakthrough uzi kuja baadaye, but you want to call friends time na kuita sherehe, time na kuita chama come we hang out, you are good, but when chama I'm down bana, I don't even need cash already. But then as in, it just tells us where we are, and I think it's something we need to work on, or we should try, it's however hard it is, because I think all of us we've had our highs and lows, and I think it's only fair to give someone a helping hand or ear whenever someone's going through something equally.
But then I also feel like there are those kind of people who are always seeking help. They don't want to help themselves, so they're always looking for other people to try and save them. I could even tie this to Christianity, but I don't think this is the place for that. But you're always expecting someone someone from outside to come and be your savior. But just like I was saying before we came here, me personally believe that you have everything you need to make your life better. Sure, some factors might come and work against you, but the moment you realize that you have the power, and the mentality and the mental strength to put all of these things into perspective and make your happiness, naona kutoka hapo kila kitu inaanza kwa rahisi. Sasa pia ni hivyo, pia unafaa kujua kuna wale wanapenda tu kusaidiwa.
Actually I think kusaidiwa si mbaya, but now some people get into the comfort zone ya kusaidiwa kila time, as in yeye anajua tu nikikwama Josh ako hapa hivi atanitoa without any effort. I think it's a bad habit.
There's something about handout, there's something about soliciting, and there's something about help. It's usually addictive, so addictive. The moment umeanza, like, it's always unaomba. It's addictive. Hautawakia anything, because at the end of the day someone will give it to you. So inafaa tu kuavoid hiyo. Alafu when you umesema about the family issue, and families are very funny. I really love the family setup, and I view it on a different perspective. Like you said nowadays you can't even host your cousin, but incest has been so normalized that everything, like the moment umeleta cousin into anywhere, literally umeharibu kila kitu. Like ni kama it's a sexual word now. The moment umeisema mali watu wako, this is my cousin, unaona tu eyes, unaona tu watu wanakuangalia like really
cousin yako kweli.
So hizo ndo bad factors zenye zina pull families away, ama okay, they could pull families together in a way, but bado kuna venye ni fishy. So hizo mi nasema like pia venye umesema about friends wenye ni ma friends tu time ya sherehe. I think pia kuna hiyo line yenye unajuanga tu, like you can always call me kama kuna sherehe, any other thing sita pull up. So the earlier umejua hivyo, unafaa kuwa umepatisha friends wako, unajua huyu naye apendi form, though anakuanga sawa, but siwezi pull up naye kwenda mahali hata ni boti huko. So unaita ule mwenye kusaidiangi, but unajua form ako sawa, sherehe ako sawa,
hiyo sherehe zone.
So ni pia kujua what kind of friends you have na occasions zao. Because ni mwananga pia saa zingine msana jaribu kumix ama best wake wote na inakuanga tu awkward, weird. So hiyo ni kitu ya kweli. Maybe swali moja ningeweza taka kuuliza pia ni what advice, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give your 19-year-old self?
In respect to?
Just everything.
In respect to life.
In respect to life, what advice would you give your 19-year-old self?
My 19-year-old self, your time ilikuanga na cool like that. Ninge maintain your appetite. Saizi imekuwa nikaa vita. Na
kukula nini?
Kila kitu tunge maintain tu hapo, but on a serious note, saizi if I could go back in time and talk to my 19-year-old self, ningemwambia tu angeanza kusoma vitu vingi mapema. Like the wisdom iko so vast, like unaweza dhani unajua kitu, nakwambia naingianga pale Reddit naangalia venye watu wanaongea naangalia hadi nashangaa, what have I been reading? Mtu thought process gani ilimleta huko hadi akasema these words, na amearticulate aje kitu mimi sijaifikiria word kama hii inaweza go na hii. Like it's so much. Hao ndio majamaa wanafanyanga, naonanga I need to read more constantly.
Well, for me, it's a tough one. What I'll tell my 19-year-old self, probably read more and try out more stuff that early. Think try out maybe becoming successful or becoming a winner starts from the small setbacks and failures. Without failure, you cannot realize where your potential. So I think I tell myself to experiment, to not be risk averse at that age, because I think I became uh, more acceptable to risk later on, just recently, yeah. So I think that would be the biggest advice.
Me, I think what I would tell my 19-year-old self would be number one, to save. Juu hata saa hizi enye savings ni muhimu man. So that's what I would tell my 19-year-old self. Plus also that factor, I guess when you guys were saying to read, you're also meaning in the line of improving yourself intellectually, spiritually, and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's also what I would tell my 19-year-old self, to just save na pia ajaribu asome akue tu ule msa anajua kila kitu and benefit. Plus pia these things take time, and the problems that at the present moment look like very huge things, eventually with time, as time passes by, they just like basically zinakuwa trivial. So it's never that serious. So that's what I would tell my 19-year-old self.
Another thing ningejiambia is there's a phrase napendanga kutumia, alafu like kila kitu yenye utafanya outcome itakuwa nini, huwa najiuliza leo niende sherehe, alafu like always inanipeanga najiongeleshanga in third party, naonanga vitu na different perspective, inanisaidia sana kuavoid vitu mingi. Like nasema leo acha nichore hii business tuone venye itakuwa. Kitu kingine niambia don't do that, alafu sana naangalia merits na demerits gani na watu wengine. Inakuanga very good perspective.
But I think we have a similar thought process, because like for me, I really think a lot about what will happen if I do this and if I don't, and the merits and demerits. And I think number one, if something is financially draining and it's not a risk to improve my financial position, number one, that's always a no. I think for business ideas, I always think about them, merits, demerits, and then now I give myself a target timeline to try it out if everything allows. But basically, even I think before getting in a relationship, I've asked myself that always for the longest time. And then like I'm like the demerits are so many. Right now I just need I just need to work on myself, say. Yeah, so I think we have to think about what comes after and what will happen immediately, and does it match to to the long term where you want to be. I think
so and something else naweza taka like watu wafanye ni you should go meet people. And hata kama una pesa hiyo kiasi yenye uko na, unajua mimi hata kama nakuanga na pesa kiasi moso, kama niko peke yangu literally nitaenda. Kwa hiyo ndo nakuanga the easiest kwenda nje peke yako. Unaenda peke yako, you don't have anyone mwenye atakuhold, unaweza ongelesha everyone. Go to a new place, ongelesha watu, ongea na mahawkers. Unajuanga vitu mingi excess, and venye watu wanaona life iko na essence yake itakuwa long term kwako.
I did. We have the same mind.
The same mind.
I think I think we'll pata insight zingine from talking to
watu different.
These are different outlook on life.
But then okay, one thing nimekuja kuona ni, I think you know about something called confirmation bias. It's that act of actively seeking vitu zenye zina reinforce thought process yako. And I feel especially right now with Massimo and whatever, it's so easy to kushinda ku reinforce like a particular mindset. So people are not going out of their way kuseek out opinions zenye zinaweza contradict whatever they're thinking. So hii Kenya mna encourage actually ni like ni kitu poa sana. Go out there, talk to people, get their points of view, and it will even make you a better person, because like umongelesha wa like wase kadhaa, so uko more understanding of people.
So kuna different wide view ya kila kitu.
Yeah.
Actually, to add on that, I generally tend to, of late, came to think about it. I think when you don't know something, the human mind is built in a way that you often have an opinion towards something beforehand. You have some prejudice before. What happens when you read? You get facts, and then you change your
mindset.
you change because you have understood something on a different level. So I think generally also the more you read, the more you can be accommodative to other people's opinions, because I really take this, in as much as you disagree with someone, I take someone being rigid as a turn off, even intellectually intellectually, because I think the more you read, or to operate in a certain level, you must be able to accommodate other people's views, regardless, and I'm sure you can take some good notes out of it, even if you don't agree with the general opinion as such.
I think on that, since you said that whenever you're talking about something, whenever you're looking into something, you already have a predetermined mindset about something, and as at now, kila mtu ni kama ujue kitu, you run to Google. And it's really easy, because wanasemanga ati in a world of Google, ignorance is a choice, ndio?
Exactly.
But inakwanga like it's so easy to find something yenye ita plaster whatever mindset yenye uko nayo kwa Google. Kila kitu yenye unataka unafikiria utapata Google. Like anything ukikuwa negative about something utapata the same thing huko. So kusoma out of Google is the best thing always. Ndio maana huwa na prefer physical books too. Hizo mavitu za mnet hizo. Yeah.
That's true. Okay, you guys mongelea story more about relations and friendships, especially story ya kusaidiana during times of crisis, and now more than ever we can say that there is an increase in the numbers of mental health disorders, equally anxiety, depression, suicide, hizo stories zote, panic attacks. Actually, on the way we were talking about this, I remember on the way we were talking about this, sijui kama conversation inaweza spill hapa kidogo, lakini Kenya ningetaka kuwauliza ni, when you are feeling low, ukiwa tu pale peke yako, sad nigawa ndio hizo zimekugonga mbaya sana, uko tu peke yako, sasa ni okay, mimi yangu inakunga around 11, nilisikia inaanzanga 2, so ikizo ma 2 am uko tu peke yako with their thoughts, ni nini unafanyanga ninakutoa in that loop? Juu nimekuja kurealize ni kama it's a feedback loop from health, nitonga hivyo, you like feel bad about feeling bad, and you feel bad that you're feeling bad, so inaendelea tu hivyo on and on.
Vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. So what do you do kujitoa kwa situations kama hizo, because probably zinakupatanga?
Well, for me, I think sadnigas is inevitable. It's a part of life that I've come to embrace, given that I have no one to rant on. So what I do, I have my thoughts, and then I have like, because I rarely open up to guys, so I have like a super diary. So when I'm just deeply engrossed in my thoughts, I write them down. But I think over time, I've come to manage, because sadningas, at times it's not that sad. At times you also see the light. You get some
positive side of it.
You get some illumination and enlightenment. But I think over time, how I deal with it is that, first of all, I try, if it's on the negative, I try to trace back to the cause. I try just go back kidogo, and then I try to find the cause, what's making me feel this way, or what happened, or what has happened. Now, when you start going back, because at that time you're in your sober state of mind, and your mind is like a supercomputer. So you just see even the little details, and then most of the time you just find it's something small that triggered, just something small just triggered all of that, and that brings me to which is not worth even causing you that much trouble. And it brings me to the question, as we were talking before, according to me, of late, my view was, or is, that of late, according to where we are in this social media age, we have a higher number of mental health issues as opposed to kitambo. And my take on that, if you try to go back in time and find the cause, I attribute it mainly, according to me, I attribute it mainly to the widespread access to information in terms of the internet. Nowadays, even a kid, mtu mdogo akona phone ya power hata kuliko wewe mwenye unafanya kazi na anaweza ona hizi vitu zote, as compared to us when you were growing up. Phones zilikuwa za adults, even internet kabla uingie kwa cyber, you have no business there. Ulikuwa unaenda kucheza game. Okay, like for me, kwenda cyber ilikuwa kucheza game. So hata ukiwa na shida, as in haiko ina take down. So my take on going back is that the easy access of information imetulead, si tunaona Modiero anafanya hivi, hizi ndio vitu wana face. So ukifeel hivi kidogo, ama unataka kuwa calm, I think when you watch a movie, you have like a character you desire, na unatakuwa kaa yeye, ama you relate. So si tunaona what's happening there, and then sasa si tunakuja huku tuna internalize. That's why mtoisi ana watch movies huko down juu simu atafanya nini ingine. That's according to me, hiyo imattribute sana to the rising cases. But that's the gospel according to me. Sijui about nini, how you deal with
about mental health. And actually when your time imekuhit, like the sad nigga, how you call it, inakwanga like usually it's the slightest thought ndio inakudrive huko. Like unaweza kuwa tunaongea na wewe hivi, and then it hits me that kuna venye familia yangu iko poa.
Sure.
And then siko normal tena, tutakuwa tunapiga tu story but siko hapa kabisa.
Sure.
So ndio maana naambia watu like go out, unasahau wingi shida zako, kuwa tu na wasee, ongea na watu, engage kabisa, unasahau vitu mingi kabisa. Another thing yenye unisaidianga hiyo time inakuanga tu mix za hizo mat za kwenda Jogoro hizo huko. Hiyo huko something else. Hiyo huko something else. Na ni kitu venye mnasema like ukiwatch movies unakuwa na someone you look up to, alafu hizo movies pia zina drive watu to depression, pia ziko na positive things zao kama same way to social media, because venye nimesema saizi mtoi mless kwako akona powerful phone than you. Pia wewe unaweza kuwa na yako kali kushinda mzazi wako mwenye anafanya kazi kama mimi, unacheck.
True.
Like pia ni age tu ina move, ni era tu fulani yenye hawezi avoid. Mental health ni issue nyingine kubwa saizi. Kuna na ina range from OCD to mtu kukimbia naked. So ni kitu kingine hawezi avoid. At one point tu itakuhit, hata kama umejaribu kuiavoid aje, at one point thought tu moja ita trigger, na kuimanage ndio kitu ngumu kabisa. Na ukifind out kitu inaweza kukusaidia, saa zingine enda tu tembea, weka tu earphones kwa masikio, tembea tu nje, tembea tu kando ya barabara, enda place yenye wasee wako wengi, inakusaidia kabisa. Ni calm, ni serene kabisa.
Think that I compared, okay, given the times in Emina and Shikanga, and lazima to realize first that uko sad, then you ask yourself why are you sad. Ukishajua ni hivyo, me the next thing mimi ufanyanga ni tunasidanga tu mangoma tu. Sasa tu mangoma 1-3 songs, a full playlist, na niko cured man until the next day.
pia kuna watu wakikwanga sad wanasikia sad songs alafu unajua
Alafu wanakuwa sada.
wengine hukwanga sada na wengine pia hizo inakuwa null effect sasa.
Like kama sasa ina cancel out.
Sadness unaihit dawa ya nyoka ni hiyo tu.
Like hata mimi niko na playlist yangu ya sad nigga hours. Like nikijua hii nayo ni normal because at times the thoughts you get at that time, first of all, like mine mostly kwa I'm a night guy, a late guy. I work optimally usiku. So most of the time inakuja between 1, okay, on a wider scope inaweza anza 1 hapo to around 4 am. So your time una mse hata kuongelesha sometimes hata mse ulikuwa na chat naye mwisho, you just feel like giving a call because talking by the in managing it, I think for me talking imesaidia. The call tuongee, I'll feel better. Unaweza kosa kunisaidia, yes, but umeji-express. So I think niko na playlist na put in. I also write down. I tend to be slightly more analytical, but also I think the greatest thing that has helped me is sports. I think for all of you know, I think tumejuana long enough. Like for me, rugby imekuwa like a drug. As in time uko na shida, I think even equally going to the gym, you vent your frustration, as in you put your energy to somewhere. Although at some point after teasy, it might come back, but at least for me, it's the sort of therapy as sports or even just having a jog or something. For me, it's quite. I always measure.
Inasaidia kabisa.
Inasaidia. I think we all have different coping mechanisms, but for me I think those work.
Kuna wengine pia, there are people who usually stress it kama uko depressed, but nadhani hiyo inakonga shida ya watu wako na pesa, cause wewe mwenye una pesa huwezi stress it, huwezi anza kustress it ugali. Kuna venye lazima usake tu vitu za kula, unacheki
inatonga comfort food.
Ni comfort like, unaorder mapizza na venye ni tuza hiyo ni coping mechanism ya watu wako na pesa.
So ni wewe unaangalia hali yako na the best way unaweza tumia ku elevate hii hali yako. Okay.
But all in all, the best way bado yenye inaweza work for anyone ni kuongelesha watu wengine, na si ati unaongelea mashida zako. Definitely ongea tu na watu, na ujue uko na wase around you.
And I think on this mental health issue, there's a quote, watu wanaweza chukulia differently, but for me, I think as you are discussing, there's a quote I don't like mimi nikiwa chini alafu mtu ananiambia it's okay not to be okay. Mimi hapo I totally disagree with that. Because I think once you're not okay, there's a reason why you are not okay. So you cannot say you are okay in being not okay. So and I think coming through, I think we had some counseling classes back then. The first step of trying to recover is you must first of all assess yourself and come to self acceptance. You accept unakubali uko na shida kwanza. Unakubali this is the problem. Now from there, once you kubali is when you can be able to solve it. So
the first step inakonga acceptance.
Acceptance, self acceptance actually. So I think maybe it's just a theory we were having. Maybe your phrase ilikuwa inatumika by therapist to make you feel that you're not badly off, to make you feel better. But we tend to misuse it. Probably that was my thought, because to me that when uko na shida na mtu akwambia hivyo, to me doesn't make sense. It's not okay not to be okay.
Wanakwambianga nika feel you're not alone in that. Ni kama unaweza kuwa na watu wengine. Okay, I've never actually sijuangi venye therapy work, but it's something I'd actually never consider. Sijui venye ina working, but according to me naona okay, hata venye nimesema like unafaa tu kuwa na watu wengine, but not necessarily uko unaongelea shida yako. Like sio ni kama kuongelea shida yako ni the best way ya kudeal na kitu inakustress. I don't think so.
Because it just hits it back home.
Direct. Kama inaeko tu
Ina
sasa
refresh,
kwako
Okay, I think there's a lot that you can still go on about with all like with all of experiences and whatever, but unfortunately we have to end the show because of time constraints. But thank you so much for watching 1,000,001 stories. I hope that we will see you soon.
Cheers.